Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Sassy Gal Preppin', and this is Subscriber Sunday. This is where we're going to be here together. We're all going to chat together. So grab your favorite drink if you haven't already. I have my coffee, and yes, I'm drinking coffee at 7:30 in the evening. Doesn't phase me too much. So I'm going to be having my coffee. I pulled up my chair already, and we're just going to chat about some things. And the topic that has been on my mind here a lot lately is having hope when everything seems like we're doomed. It seems like everything is just falling. The future looks bleak at best. I've talked with people this past week about prices rising, for groceries, for gas, for just all kinds of things, or there's just not stuff in the store to purchase. Um, so yeah, so this has kind of been weighing heavy on my heart. And I know if it's on my heart, I know it's on a lot of y'all's hearts too. So I just thought that we might be able to chat about this for a little bit. But welcome. Sorry, there is a net. Let me see if I can try to get this before we. It's flatter on my screen. Okay. All right. Um, so anyway, yes, I gotta make sure I sit up nice and straight like my mama said. I'm gonna get lazy and get all hunched over and stuff. So let me just say hello to all of our hang on. I got it. Got the net. Yay! All right. So, anyway, back to welcoming everyone here tonight. This is Sunday evening, and I would like to welcome Rita. Rita was here first tonight. So, everyone say whoop whoop to Rita. Hope you all are doing well. Hello, Tony. Good to see you. LG, good to see you. And I love that you said thanks for being here today. I love that. All right. And we have Glenn. Good evening. Good to see you. Apartment Prepper. Hey, y'all. It's good to see you as well. I'm glad you all are here. Got the smiles happening. So, I don't know if everyone's busy or not. We had I see the Virginia Bushcrafters here. Welcome. Welcome to the chat this evening. Y'all, last weekend. Okay, so I didn't have a stream last weekend because I was completely wiped out from camping with my daughter's American Heritage Girls troop. And I want to say AHG, but you guys have no idea what that is. So I have to say American Heritage Girls. We were camping with her troop in Central Virginia, and boy, oh boy, we had a time. It's type 2 fun. We'd go back and do it again. We did very well. I survived. I did a video on what our camp setup was going to look like. The mattress, the little mat, the self-inflating mat I had, that worked out great. And I also had a mummy bag, but my cold weather sleeping bag that worked out very well. Um, took a little bit used to getting to sleep in, or took a little bit of getting used to as far as sleeping in that, but anyway, it worked out very well. So Nene is here, so thank you for being here tonight. And Rachel, hello, Rachel, my friend. Good to see you, my sassy sister. Oh, let's see. So anyway, I was very glad that we survived that. Learned a lot of things about what I want to say, camping with other people. So we talk about kind of in our communities about having like a mutual assistance group and that kind of thing, and how important it is that everyone have skills and bringing skills to the group. And I think myself and our troop coordinator were the only two that had the skills in the group. So I heard a lot of these moms say, "Oh, my husband usually does this." And so guess who got to be the husband at camp? My troop coordinator and myself. So anyway, that's another conversation there. So um hey, Dora, nice to see you. Welcome. Glad that you made this live stream. We're just saying hello, just kind of welcoming some people as people are starting to come on before we actually get started. You guys, I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about one of my subscribers, but she's many of you know her. It is her channel is Michelle Mitten Prepper Veteran, and she is a combat an Army combat medic, so she's a veteran, and if you haven't been on her channel, I would love for you to go over and check out her recent videos, um, and offer her some support, some encouragement, uh, and some hope. It's kind of interesting that, I chose this topic today, and then she posted some of these videos, about the horrors that she's going through right now with the purchase of a new house. And she goes she's very raw, very emotional, and she shows pictures and she's talking about what she's going through. um I wanted to let you know here, um and that she and I have been talking through email, and we are going to set up a give send go fund for a campaign for her. And I think we're going to get everything squared away and we can publish it tomorrow. And that will be posted on my community tab. And I'm sure she will be posting it as well. And we're going to be posting it on all of our other socials like Instagram, Facebook. If you guys are there, please share it, share the link with others, and share her story, and offer her some help if you can. Um, and then we're going to do a special live stream. She agreed to this already, so I'm going to go ahead and announce it here, and then I'll have another video to announce what we're doing. And we're going to have we're going to have a live stream with her as my guest, and I'm gonna let her share her story, and we're hoping that this might get some traction, that we can get um, maybe a news channel or something behind this, and just really give her a lot of support right now and let her know that she's not alone. So I wanted to take a few minutes and just kind of direct you all over there. Go watch a couple of her videos so you can you're going to get the story. And I can't believe that she's going through all of this, but she's a tough woman. But some things just break you, and they do. They break you, so we can only take so much, right? And that's okay. I mean, it's okay that we feel our emotions. I mean, in society today, it seems like we're not allowed. It's not encouraged for us to feel our emotions. We're just supposed to move on and sweep everything under the rug. Not, like God forbid that we get upset about something. And, in certain communities, we don't show our emotions, because we're Christian and we're not supposed to get upset, or we're not supposed to be worried, or not do these things, and good grief, y'all. We have emotions. We've been created with them. Now we shouldn't let our lives be run by our emotions, right? Because that's why we have what we have going on in the world today is because we've got feelings and emotions and all this kind of stuff running rampant and running everything rather than logic and common sense. But that's not today's video so much, as we're going to be talking about hope to get over some of these things. So, um, yes, LG, that's a good example for women to learn these skills that usually were only taught to the men. That's why we go camping. That's why we learn outdoor skills. The badges that our girls earned this last weekend, they learned fire safety. They learned their identity in Christ. They learned about women in history and how those women could show us that we can also do great and mighty things, from raising our families, and homeschooling our children, maybe, to going out and maybe, becoming an astronaut or breaking world records or something. So all of it, whatever God has created us to do, that is our goal in life, and do the best that we can. Anyway, I'm going to go off on a tangent about American Heritage Girls, and that's not what this chat is about. Thank you, Apartment Prepper, for sharing Michelle's channel. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, she is an inspiring woman. And Apartment Prepper, they absolutely did her wrong. When you guys hear her story, let her know. I don't know if she's going to be on the stream tonight or not. She's resting. She's had a big day. But they yeah, they did her wrong, and you guys are going to get really mad when you hear her story. And I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just was just, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable that how they could do this. So, oh, Tony, that's wonderful. Wonderful. She could use all the support. And you know what, y'all? Um, share her channel. I think the more subscribers that she gets, I don't think she has the subscriber level yet. I don't think she's at 1,000 subscribers. So if we can bump her up there and give her some watch time and stuff, then she can actually start monetizing her channel and that will help as well. Yes. Everyone, please check out her channel. She is a really kind, smart, generous woman. Yes, she is. And you know what? Whenever we do live streams, when she does live streams with other people, she's always giving stuff away, you know? So I think it's time that we can all give back to her. Um, I love this. What God gave them to us and he had wait, God gave them to us and he had them. Why can't we? Exactly. He created us with emotions. God has emotions. I believe I commented on somebody's, I think it was Prepping by Faith had a video out and someone was critiquing her about, isn't it funny how Christians are, kind of like showing our emotions. And we should just, God is, oh gosh, what did they say? God is, oh, you know what? I might actually have it. I think I saved it. It was funny because I took a screenshot in case it got taken down. Let's see, is this it? Nope, that's not it. Oh, well, I'm not gonna take too much time to try to look for it, but I did remember that, I was telling them all about God. If God is love and joy, I think is what they said, then you also have to take into account that God is also just and he got angry, um, and he's full of emotions, and so you have to take all yes, God is love, but he's also this too, so you'll have to take it all because God is all. You can't just take one part of him. Okay. Thank you again for sharing Michelle's channel. Um, let's see. Hey, McBean, welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. Okay, so Michelle has 745 subs. She's got a little ways to go, but I bet you if we start sharing her story, and getting this out there, she'll get right up there. She'll get, hello, prepping by faith. Okay, sorry, I had a little ADD moment. I'm like, oh, look at all these little things over here. I'm trying to keep up with the chat and I dropped my sentences, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah, now I don't understand this, Nene, how that inspection was able to fly by. I don't know how that even just don't even know. Hey there, Fuzz T48. I'm gonna call you Fuzz. Hello, Fuzz. Oh, so McBean is gonna be a grandpapa. Oh my goodness, I love it. Congratulations ahead of time. We pray that everything will go smoothly and that everybody will be healthy and safe. Oh my goodness, how exciting. Thank you, Glenn, for subbing to Michelle's channel. That is awesome. Yeah, nothing surprises you when it comes to lenders, right? Yes, this is thank you. Prepping by Faith is here, and I was just talking about you. Yeah, they had said something about how we shouldn't be depressed. That's right, because that shows we are joyless. We're not Christian enough if we have depression or we feel these feelings. And you know what? Feel your feelings. And that's what I'm going to get into actually. I think we have everybody that's coming on is going to be here and people are going to be coming on. So um I'm just going to go ahead and talk about I'm just scrolling here. Okay, so I got down to the bottom of these messages, so I'm caught up there. So part of this was if I'm looking down, I'm looking at notes because I had a lot that I wanted to just I had a brain dump and I put everything down on paper because my kids and I were talking. And I enjoy having young adults in the house because we have some very spirited conversations. And when we start talking about when you hear all the stuff that's in the news and a lot of times you don't know what to believe anymore, right? And we start talking about like is there going to be a future for my kids? Is there going to be a future for any of us? The country, everything seems like we are doomed from whatever point, whatever side that you're coming from, and whatever outlook that you have. Everything just seems like it's doomed. And that can weigh heavily on us, that will bring on depression. We will feel overwhelmed. It's a heavy weight when all you're seeing every day is, wars, rumors of wars, financial this, no food here, what's happening here, and then there's fear this, fear that, what if this happens, oh my gosh, nuclear stuff. I wasn't gonna say that word. Anyway, those big bad baddie bommies. Okay, so anyway, um oh, is Apartment Prepper leaving? Oh, bye. Whoops. Hey, Biggs Prep. Hello, Cynthia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I meant to click on this one, but I wanted to say hi to you anyway. Yeah, Psalms 55:23. And actually in all of the Psalms, if you read the book of Psalms, and David in the Psalms is always pouring his heart out and he's crying out and he's very raw and emotional, and God walks him through all of it and God is there with him. And so um yes, the turmoil that Michelle is going through has to be God's will. He is molding her for his use. And you know what? She that's going to be hard for her to see right now. Cuz she's right in the moment. And so that's going to be hard for her to see that this is God's will because she thinks that she's done something wrong. Um and she thinks, well, he must think that I'm pretty strong to handle all of this, right? Because people say that God doesn't give you what you can't handle. And although that's very true, in the moment and the stuff that she's dealing with right now, and or anyone that is dealing with something very tragic, it's hard for them to see that. Um, so, hey, you know what? Better late than never, Cynthia. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. Um, so, um, so the big question that is going around my house is it still possible to have hope for the future? And I believe, yes, that simple answer, yes. And if that's all you wanted to hear, you can leave the live stream and I'll catch you in the next video. but um but yeah, there is hope for the future. And as prepping by faith is saying here, it is a heavy weight and sometimes you just need to take a break and block as much of it out as possible. Yeah, you kind of have to give your feelings the place that they need. You can't just ignore them. You can't deny them because they're there. And if you keep sweeping stuff under the rug, pretty soon nothing's going to fit under that rug and it's all just going to come out and all over the place. All right? So you have to give place to your feelings. But um so as far as hoping, um yeah, so yeah, if you listen to all the doom and gloom, I have a video that I did, and I did it last year, I believe. It was called Stop Doom Scrolling, because and even then, it just, it doesn't stop. Like I think when I called it doom scrolling was right in the height of 2020, and it was just doom and gloom every day, and it was getting worse every day. And I just stopped. I didn't listen to any of that anymore, and I was able to really, keep my sanity through it all. Um, and yes, we need to understand also that this is a sin-filled world and it doesn't necessarily have to be God's will. These are things that are happening and God wants to walk with you through the valley. Remember in Psalm 23 when it says, "Yea, I will walk through the valley of the shadow of death," and you're walking through the valley. And if you're stopping in the valley, don't stop, because that's when you're going to see all of the stuff around you. You're going to see the valley, you're going to feel the depths, you're going to feel the heaviness. If you remember, Peter walked on water when he saw Jesus and he said, "If it's you, bid me to come out." And he does. And Peter's walking on water. And then and he's keeping his focus on Jesus. And then all of a sudden he takes his focus off and he looks at the waves. Okay, I know some of these are simple stories and we've heard them over and over, most likely. But you know what? We got to remember them. It's got to keep bringing them to mind, because as soon as Peter took his eyes off of Jesus is when he started noticing all of the swirling waves and the chaos and the pounding waves and the danger and all of that. And he began to sink. And so we do that. We're like Peter. We're like Job in the Bible. We are like pick anybody, pick any disciple, pick any, you know, person in the Bible. And we are so much like them, which is why I think we had so many such a variety of people that we're able to read about and learn from, and learn how God took them through these valleys and met them on mountaintops, and came to where they are. And I just, and I love that because there's a little bit of them in all of us. We can relate to this person, we can relate to this person. So yeah, there are people out there that are all for doom and gloom, and they just, like, I don't know how they can keep coming up with their video titles, because the next one has to be more sensational and more fantastic than the last one, and they got the whatever. Yeah, so it is the simple stories that are easiest for us to remember. And it is, we have to keep going and going and going. Um and keep remembering and not forgetting, and keep telling them to ourselves and to our children. Yeah, they all went through hard times. There is not The Bible also says that there is nothing new under the sun, basically. I paraphrase, that's the sassy gal version. But there's nothing new that we're going through today that hasn't already been experienced before. So just different times, same problems, same issues, right? When you're talking about things like, depression or jealousy or, anger or joy or any of these things. I mean, it's all there. It's just different times. We are in the lion's den. There are days when you feel like that we are in the lion's den, you know, and and it does not seem hopeful. And so the question I had is it still possible to have hope? And then so it depends on what you're hoping for, what you want to hope for. And for me, hope is always connected to faith because I don't hope that I'm gonna go to work in the morning, or I don't hope that I'll do the dishes, because those are things that I do. I hope for things that I don't have any control over, Jesus coming back. I hope for, better days. Um, and so then the question is, where is my faith? What am I placing my faith in? Do I have faith that the economic elites and ruling classes, or politicians, oil company executives, Silicon Valley investors, who sort of run the world, will they? Am I hoping that they're going to come together and put food shortages, center stage, or rebuild the global economy? No, I do not hope for that. I don't hope for that. That's not where my faith is. Would it be nice that we would all come together and hold hands and sing kumbaya? Yes, but I don't think it's going to happen. The one time that I could remember in my lifetime where I could see everybody came together for a period of time was 9/11, and people were coming out and we were singing, the national anthem. It seemed like we were united. That was very short lived, but that was the one time I saw where we sort of came together and we were like united. That is how quickly we forget. And yes, this is where I do have this in my notes, and that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Right. This is very good. Thank you for saying this, Fuzz. Michelle is feeling very alone right now. We do not want her to feel alone. And that's one of the things that is in the on the Give Send Go campaign when that goes live tomorrow. That is one of the things. I don't want her to feel alone. She is a single mom. Um, and those kinds of things, we any one of us can feel alone. So what she's going through, I think we can all come around her and put our virtual arms around her, if you will, and let her know that she isn't alone, because we know what that feels like. So we should all just let her know that we support her and we got her back. What she decides, we're gonna be there for her. So and yes, and it's wonderful to have a group of people, and even in this virtual world that we're in right now, we can have a support group. And so, like, sending her emails or commenting on her videos, that kind of thing. Um, if someone could grab her email from her channel, I believe she posts her email. It's very simple. It's like mitten prepper veteran at something, or it's very it's got her channel name in it. So Anyway, hey there, Kim from Wisconsin. Oh, you've been processing tomatoes all afternoon. Good for you. Good for you. So anyway, so yeah, so our faith is not in the an economic, anything, politicians or anything like that. I think faith would be misplaced given the track record of all of that, right? But I do have faith in human resilience and the human ability to adapt to difficult situations. I do think that we still have that in us. Maybe not all of us, but I think there's that it's still in there, and we can still find ways to lead meaningful and rich lives. Um, so I don't need to ask for more hope. I need to be reminded of the hope I already have. Because as followers of Christ, that's as a follower of Christ, that's me. When life hurts, I look to heaven. I've always told people just look up and you'll find Jesus. You know, we get to I get to rest in the promise that my suffering is temporary. It may feel like it's never going to end. In fact, a video I did a while back with prepping with Sarge, it was talking about we feeling like this chaos and this suffering is never ending. And that's been very hard. That's been very hard to keep the hope, to keep the faith when it feels like this is never going to end, because someone told me one day, well, just, this too will pass. And I'm like, I really don't feel like this is going to pass. Not until Jesus comes, y'all. I feel like this is just things that we're going to keep enduring and enduring. And so we have to pivot. We have to pivot the way we see things. We have to constantly adjust because the pressure's on every day, the overwhelming, the oppression, the everything is just it's pressing on us every day. So we as followers of Christ, which I know a lot of you here are, if you're not, that's fine. Um, but I know for me, that's how I keep my sanity. Um, because my hope is eternal. I can lose hope over some things, but then I have to realize, where am I placing my hope? If I'm placing my hope and my faith in people, that's the wrong thing. Okay. And I can't place faith in my husband. I can't place faith in my kids or a pastor or yeah, I don't know, anybody else. If it's human, it's going to disappoint me and it's going to fail me. And the only person that is not going to fail me is Jesus. And so I have to keep that there. One of the verses that I had was Romans 8:18. Um, and it reads, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." And that's the hope. I know it's coming. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot that we have to endure and that we're going to have to go through. Like, when a butterfly has to hatch out of that cocoon, it has to do all of the struggle and all of the work and to come out, because that process is what helps the wings, and that butterfly will be able to to fly and do great things. Let me look at here. I see some things flying by in the chat. Double D Homestead is here. Welcome. Family Man Prepper, I haven't seen you in forever. Welcome, and I hope you all are doing well. I need to watch. I saw that she had a video, Amazon box. Open that box, y'all. Go watch some of their videos. It's so fun. It's like Christmas. So, my kids are gone from home now. Lucky I have cats. That gives me purpose, right? A lot of times we need to remember our why, you know. We have purpose for taking care of kids or our cats, our dogs, whatever. But remembering what we're doing, and just remember keeping our focus where it needs to be. So, we have some choices here. We could let whatever it is that we're going through, whatever kind of pain that you're going through, or whatever kind of oppression that you're feeling, depression, whatever it is that you're experiencing, you can either let it draw you closer to Jesus, or you can allow it to push you away. Or you could push him away. Let me put that way. These circumstances, it will either make you feel, or I'm sorry, they will, what do I want to say? It'll make you better or bitter. That's what I was trying to say. Maybe I should have some more coffee. All right, so yeah, so the circumstances, these the whatever it is that you're feeling, fear, overwhelm, any of that, anything that we're going through right now, we're either going to allow this to make us better or bitter. And I don't think we want to be bitter. And so, one thing we can do to help ourselves keep the hope alive is to be honest about our hurt. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this screen back up. There we go. So, we can be honest about our hurt. So, we were talking about David and in the Psalms, and he was always pouring his heart out and being raw and open. So, we have to remember that Jesus isn't mad at us for experiencing these emotions, these feelings, painful emotions. You know, we're feeling frustration. And we were talking about Michelle's situation and and what she's going through. We can all relate to that and we get angry with her because this is wrong and it's painful for her. And it's okay. I've had people tell me when I've had something painful, like that, and you're experiencing this thing and it was just wrong. And they're just saying, well, um, they would encourage you encourage, wrong word, but that's really what they were doing, encouraging you to not be angry. They're just like, well, you should be happy all the time that you're going through this thing. And it's not happy in the moment. It's not happy when you lose your child or you lose a loved one. It's not happy when you're going through the situation when you don't have a home, or the home is being taken away from you, or you lose your job and you don't know what you're going to do tomorrow. These things are not, they're not pleasant, they're painful. And yeah, we need to experience that pain. We don't need to succumb to it and do things that are not appropriate, but we need to remember that Jesus wants to experience them with us. He is there with us. He's walking through the valley with us. And so we lean on him. We lean on him for to sustain us, to help encourage us so that we can keep our hope alive and our faith alive. Yeah, they aren't pleasant, and we need to encourage one another with the word of God and pray for one another. This is why we have community, why we are together is to help support each other in this, because this is hard. This is hard when we're trying to budget. We're trying to figure out how we're going to get to the next month, how we're going to get through the holidays, how we're going to get through to spring. And when we see that there's nothing coming in on the supply chains, and we see that our money from the United States is going elsewhere and not staying here. um and it's just like, and you see your paychecks may have dwindled, or maybe your paycheck isn't going as far as it used to. I mean, good grief. And these are pain points for everyone, and everyone at different levels. All right. And so in Psalm 34:18, the it reads, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and he saves those who are crushed in spirit." And how many of you have felt crushed in spirit? We can feel brokenhearted and down, but when we're crushed in spirit, we're literally to that point of where we feel defeated and hopeless. But it says that the Lord is close to them, close to us, and he saves those. It means he helps, he delivers those who are crushed in spirit. That is where we are going to get our rejuvenation and our refilling in our spirit and the restoration of our joy, not from anything else in this world. Prepping by faith, we need to practice grace with one another. And just because we don't struggle with a particular thing doesn't mean someone else isn't struggling. That's right. And just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. There's all kinds of things. I'm also an ad. So October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This is a little side story. And I'm an advocate for domestic violence and domestic abuse in the home. And so I'm an advocate for women like this. And so this is part of the counseling that I do. And this is not part of Sassy Gal Prepping. But that's something that I'm an advocate for, and I have counseling, and I'm faith-based counselor for women like this. And I've always this everything. There is so much that you don't know about someone who you see that you're sitting next to at church or at work or at school or somewhere, that you're even serving alongside with someone. And just because you don't see something happening doesn't mean it's not happening. And so just because you don't, you're thinking that you see a person that might be bubbly, um, doesn't mean that they're not experiencing something traumatic. They may be able to put on a good front and go to work, right? But on the inside, there's a lot of turmoil going on. Okay. And so just be aware of those kinds of things. I guess I was just saying that as a side note. Be aware that everybody is going through something. And we do need to offer grace, right? Going through the chat. So Rachel. Rachel left a comment for us. I am the only one working in my family, and it's hard to budget for things. Holidays are coming up, and I'm already trying to figure out how to pay bills and get a couple of Christmas gifts. Yes, this is a very tough time, and it's stressful. It's stressful for everyone. Um, and and trying to figure out how to do that. What are we going to, how are we going to rearrange our budgets? How are we going to give up something to get it? We're going to have a light Christmas for, I've already been thinking about doing a homemade Christmas. I was thinking about fudge and doing some of these things. Oh gosh. And prepping my face. She says, God bless you. May he multiply all your efforts, Rachel. That was very sweet. Arc Wild Man. I always say Arc Man. Welcome to the stream. Creating community. Welcome, my sweet friend. It's good to see you here tonight. Fuzz is telling Rachel, every time you go to the store, the price has gone up $1. Yeah, I've seen that too. And I know my husband's birthday was yesterday, and so we went out to get some Chinese food, and the prices I noticed on the menu, I hadn't been there in a while, so I definitely noticed the price jump. Everything was up by $1 or $2 depending on what you were getting, and it was like, whoa, okay, you know. Yeah, putting up a good front has come natural for me. Yes, Rachel, I can agree with you on that one. Because that's kind of how we need to roll with things. In society, we're busy. Our culture has been just keep moving, and just get on with it. And don't deal with anything. They're always keeping us distracted with other things, so we can't deal with the things that we need to deal with. Um, and something I wrote here about David, about the Lord being close to the brokenhearted in Psalms, that David knew this better than anyone, that that the David would just feel like at his absolute rock bottom. And who did he call out to? He was usually maybe hiding in a cave, or he was alone somewhere, but he always called out to the Lord, and he encouraged himself in the Lord. And it's one of the things I appreciate so much about the Psalms, is that um even though David had his moments, I appreciated that he was raw, that he was transparent, he asked questions, um, and God was with him the whole time. He didn't, chastise him for being in the cave and doing whatever, David was very good at laying out all of his feels. My kids like to use that word, all the feels, and experience the presence of God through them. So yes, God is with us in the good and in the bad and the ugly. He's with us through all of them. He wants to experience them all with us. And so when I think of David, and I think about how he was called a man after God's own heart, it's not because he never doubted or questioned or had moments of despair, depression, whatever. I think it's because he never hid his heart from God. And so I think for all of us right now, if that's something that I can encourage you with, is um to not hide your heart. I don't If you're fearful about something, you're fearful how you're going to get food on the table, you're fearful about if you have enough food. I mean, that's certainly been one of my things, is, do I have enough? Oh, you guys. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys. Sorry. This was like, what? Okay. Um we had a twice this week we had events where we had to be without water for several hours. Um and it's unexplained. Thankfully the one time that it happened was overnight, and so everybody was sleeping, so that wasn't too bad. But this is what I learned from the situation. Um, One is that I do not have enough water stored. Okay, so if I could encourage you all on that, is to think, if when you think you have enough water, store up some more. So what I had was, in all of we have bathrooms, and I'm pointing to one because it's over there. But in our bathrooms, I had all bottles of water. I mean, things from like Gatorade bottles that I had washed and rinsed out, and I put tap water in, things like that. Other bottled waters that had the stronger, like Deer Park bottles, they had stronger plastic. I use there were Evian bottles that were fairly tall, and I would just put all of those under the sink for, in case, we could use those to, brush our teeth or wash our hands or something. And then I had gallons of water stored downstairs, and that was for if we ever needed it, right? It was all just tap water. And when it came to, we were without water long enough that I was wondering how we were gonna keep flushing our toilets. We had power, so the power was fine. So we didn't have to worry about actual flushing and all that kind of stuff. The tank just wasn't filling up. And so we were using the gallons to fill the tank. And mind you, we're doing things to try to make the water last longer, but there are times that we had to flush, and then I was wondering how many times I was going to be able to fill up the toilets doing that. And we were all really trying to be, I was just about at the point where I was thinking we're going to have to go out, maybe go to a restaurant to use, a bathroom. And so right then, as soon as I got the water came back on and everything, I was filling up everything again, and I'm filling up even more jugs. I'm saving everything, and then I'm going out and I'm getting more water things, the water cubes to store water in. I just didn't have enough. And that really lit a fire under my butt. And so, yeah, we're gonna be getting some more water. I'm working on water storage. That is like high priority on my list. 'Cause I thought I had enough, but I clearly did not have enough to last 6 hours where it was starting to wipe me out. So yeah, yeah, that was pretty scary. So I'm sorry, my nose is getting stuffy. Yeah, homemade Christmases are some of the most meaningful, and I think we're gonna do a lot more homemade stuff to incorporate with a gift or two here and there. Yes, very light Christmas this year. Yep, I'm thinking of doing one experience where we're all, as a family, we're going to do an event. We're thinking of going to medieval times, and then have a gift under the tree. Basically, that's about it. So, um, yeah, okay, take them to a good, we don't have that kind of stuff. Our Goodwill shut down. Well, actually, they moved. I don't remember where they moved, but the one that was by me shut down, and then I think they moved somewhere across town. We have a Salvation Army. We have a hospice center, where I donate a lot of stuff. But you know what? It's the stuff that we have here in our store is so dated. I mean, we're talking stuff in the 70s that we find in the store. It's just dated. But yeah, even homemade gifts can be expensive. So yeah, yep, yep. God will make a way where there seems to be no way. Yeah, and being with family, that's the best gift, and I'm really starting to appreciate family more. Um, just because you never know these days when someone's going to take their last breath. Um, and that's another thing. And my friend from creating community, she and I have been friends for a very long time. Well, it seems like it's been forever, but it's only been since 2017. But we met on YouTube. So anyway, my friend here, from creating community, she and I, we always mention and talk about some of the mysterious people, that are just dropping, I don't, what do I to say without trying to be like on YouTube, like trying to be negative, whatever. But there's a lot of the death unknown, right? Their diagnosis is death unknown, and they're young people at the height of their sports career. They're teenagers, and they're just mysteriously dying. And so we talk about this a lot about making the moments count because we just never know when their last moment is going to be. And so we really yeah, we're all about those precious moments and trying to create experiences and memories while we have these people with us. Um, yes, I'm so grateful for health. That's something that we take for granted. Absolutely. Um, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Fuzz. Um, yeah, see, these are things, you guys, where these pressures we think that we're going to lose where we lose hope or we get down to our last straw, if you will. And that's kind of what I wanted to encourage you all today is that um sorry. If it's yellow, let it mellow. Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to get at. I didn't really want to say it, but okay. Thank you for saying that. But yeah, it's these things, let me just get this last part out on my notes. So anyway, back to David was that he's a great example of it's not because he never doubted or didn't have any questions. He bared his heart before God. And I believe that's how um he became close to God, is because he bared his soul and became vulnerable. Not a lot of people want to do that today. It's being vulnerable and open is a very scary place to be. And so, in the middle of our deepest hurts, we can cling to the freedom that heaven is coming. Um, and that's why there's still hope when life hurts. You know, we can go through some pretty bad stuff, just like I was telling you about Michelle in the beginning of the live stream. We can go through some pretty bad stuff. Um, losing our children, um, suffering these tremendous losses. Um, and if we can remember that one day God is going to make every wrong right, and he's going to make every injustice just, and every hurt healed. There is coming a day. And I know that we don't know when that is. And I know, for me, I can, the things that are happening in the world, I feel like we're getting closer. And in some ways that's exciting. And then also there's other, it can be scary because I have loved ones that um, that just don't believe. Um, and but if we can just remember and get with God and let him be with us in our heartbreak and in our healing and in our hope. Let him be there with all of us. We don't have to go through whatever it is that we're going through or what you've been through. We don't have to go through it alone. Although you may be alone, like you may be a single mom, a single dad, you may live by yourself, or you may, like our family unit, we're up here where I feel like we're up here in the boonies. But we're far away from family, and some of the friends that we thought were friends were not friends. And I do feel like we're that family that marches to the beat of our own drum, and it's just sometimes I do feel very isolated. As a homeschool family, I feel even more isolated at times. But I've had many days where I've had to remember that God is with us in the heartbreak and the healing and the alone, but he's also there in the joy and in the hope. I just need to trust him. I want you to trust him as well with your whole heart, knowing that, that he is our deepest hope and he wants to be everything for you. And just as Prepping by Faith said earlier, faith is hope in evidence of things not seen, right? That's where we have our hope in things that we can't control. Okay? And so I encourage you all to read Romans 8 if you haven't. All right, so let me get to and see what's going on here. We are going to be praying for Miss Nene's husband. I didn't know. Okay, I remember hearing that he was sick, so hopefully it's nothing serious. This is very true. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. That's right. Okay. All right, I'm gonna need to write some of these things down because we have people that are sharing things. And so we have Prepping by Faith and brother's boss has cancer. And there's a biopsy. And we're going to pray for Michelle. And so if you guys are coming on later, Michelle Mitten Prepper Veteran, that's her channel on YouTube. And I encourage you to go over there and watch her videos, her recent videos. It's describing her dream home turned nightmare situation. And if you could offer her some encouragement, maybe send her an email. I can't remember. I think she might have a mailing address. I'm not sure. And send her some cards. But I did announce in the live stream that we're going to be going we're going to be doing a Give, Send, Go campaign, which we should be launching tomorrow. So look on our social medias for that. And then we're going to be doing a live stream, and we'll see if we can get something scheduled here very soon where we're going to have a special live stream and she can share her story. She could share what her needs are. And we could just make it an opportunity to be able to encourage her, but also get her story. And if there's any way that if there's some things that we can reach out to certain people that might be able to help veterans. I don't know a lot about, um, veteran organizations that help veterans. So I really want to be able to just give her lots of information so that she can arm herself with the knowledge and also give her confidence to be like, yeah, I was wronged. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't fail. And maybe that would help make her feel a little bit more confident. She's feeling pretty low right now. So I pray that you all would pray for her and encourage her as well. Um, and also pray for each other. Y'all on the stream, y'all here, like pray for each other. We need to be holding each other up because this is crazy times, y'all. And so let's see, Prepping by Faith, Michelle, and Nene's husband. I wanted to make sure I keep remembering these so that I can remember them. Farmer Son Prepping. Welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. Okikon, hello. I'm so glad y'all are here. Oh gosh, this is sad. It's if it's aggressive and malignant, they're only going to give her 1 to 2 years. Oh my gosh. Oh. Tony, I will never lose hope even though my family don't speak to me, including my kids. It's very positive. And I'm sorry that you're isolated off from your family, but I'm grateful that you are never going to lose hope. That's the spirit to have. Keep it going. Keep it going. Dr. Jesus. Yes, Dr. Jesus can heal. Gosh, have I missed this many comments? I'm sorry. Give me a second. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing Michelle's channel. So there's her Michelle Mitten Preppers. This is her latest video. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Thank you. So look in the chat, y'all. Prepping by Faith shared that. So that's her latest video. Yes, holding one another up in prayer is such a blessing to belong to such a great community. So yeah, I know that oh, Karen. Okay, thank you. All right. So you have that. So am I shaking the table? Oh, oh goodness. My daughter has laryngitis. My youngest daughter. Um, and so I could tell she was starting to come down with something, but I thought maybe it was just a little bit of a cold. But nope, it turned into laryngitis. And so she came downstairs this morning and she was like, I was like, "No!" It's been year I think I was probably her age, maybe just a couple years older when I had laryngitis, and that's the funniest, it's not haha funny, but it's funny as in, like, it's strange because you wanna talk and you can't, and you feel fine. It's weird that you don't have a fever, nothing that's going on, and then she's got a little bit of a cough, and the cough sounds nasty, and so whatever it is, it's just all right here. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, so many colds and stuff going on right now. It's that time of year. And so y'all, if you haven't heard, I'm sure you've heard by now. And I'm sorry, this just reminded me of it. So sorry, I'm like leaning on my knee. um, so y'all start if you have any kind of a protocol that you take to try to stay healthy every day and keep yourself, ahead of the curve when it comes to little cootie bugs and stuff like that. So something of concern that the scientists at Boston University have played around with um, Omicron and the original Wuhan hoo going on. They played around with that and created a very bad virus that has a very high, very lethal rate. It killed 80% of the mice. I'm just going to say that. So this is serious stuff. This is the actual gain of function research, y'all, and this is not it's not good. It used to be banned in America, and they lifted the ban in 2017, 2018, something like that. Um, they're doing research. Now, the good thing is that this is out in the news and other people are condemning these scientists for even doing this. This is playing with fire, they said, and which is right. But this is the actual the gain of function research that Rand Paul was getting on Dr. Fauci about. So y'all take care of yourselves. Get yourselves healthy. Okay. Um, do what you can to this is I know this do whatever protocols you feel are comfortable for yourself, okay, but just be aware and pay attention in the news. I don't even know if they're talking about this on the news. I saw it on Children's Health Defense. I get something called the Defender, and I get it. I don't know if I get it weekly or I'm on their Telegram channel, so I see stuff come in daily. Um, but sorry, I just shook the table. Sorry. Oh yeah, got to be creative with the vocabulary, right? Because of YouTube stuff. Blah, 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 blah. And yeah, they need to stop playing. And God help us all. Yes, we need to be praying. Um, we need to be praying. We need to be praying for the truth to be revealed. We need to be praying over the elections that are coming up. Um, we need to be, integrity, truth. We need to be praying for people like ourselves to be able to be confident and strong to stand up for justice and truth and right. Okay. We need to not be backing down as Christians. If you're watching and you are a believer and you have a biblical worldview, we need to not be silent. Okay. This is part of the reason I think why we're in the situation that we are today is because we have been silent for too long, and it's time to not be silenced. But we also don't have to be the the wacko on the street corner holding up weird signs, the end of the world is coming. Okay, we don't have to go there, but remember how Jesus did it when he walked the earth. He taught one person and one person at a time. He had meaningful conversations. He met people right where they were at, and he talked with them. He didn't force them. He let people come to their own decisions. He didn't, that's just how he did it. He didn't have to go stand up and try to declare anything. He just one by one, each one reach one is how I always like to say it. I reach that person, then they go and they reach the next one and they reach another one, and it just filters out. So it starts here at the home, starts here in your area. We can't fight the big fights. Okay. We can't fight the big corporations, the big organizations that and bureaus and centers and all these things. That's the wrong fight. Our fight needs to be here at home locally. That's where we can make the most change right here. As you know, the Bible says that we are to share um we spread the word and oh gosh, what does it say? It's at Jerusalem and then to the Greeks or to the Jew, to the Greek and then to all of the world. Okay. Woo! My hands. To all of the world. So it starts here at home. This is my Jerusalem, my home, my hometown. And then to the Greek would be outside, maybe into my state and into, that. And then outside of my state would be all of the rest of the world, in a sense. It starts here at home. Oh my gosh. I'm like getting crazy with all my hands and stuff. Yes, God's word never comes back void. The seed is planted. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not good, Nene. This is not good, and I pray that this, doesn't accidentally get out. Just saying. Okay. Don't want anything jumping out and accidentally getting out. We have enough of that going on. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. I just didn't mean to click on that. All right, y'all, it's been an hour and I don't want to like take up your whole evening. I hope that this was an encouragement to you to keep the faith and hope alive. I know it's hard. Things are hard and it's overwhelming, it's oppressive, and you can feel downright hopeless when you start really looking at everything going on. Okay. But we always say, I love Linda's Prepper Kitchen says, keep on keeping on, y'all. And that's right. We need to just keep going forward, one step forward, your eyes on Jesus, y'all. Keep the hope right there. That's our living hope. Okay. And keep it there and go into your week and do all kinds of great things in your prepper pantries and in your kitchens. Spend your money wisely. Okay. And you're going to prep all your stuff and you're going to pack all your stuff and you're going to stack it to the rafters. Okay. Because that's what I say, prep it up, pack it up, and stack it up, y'all. All right. So I love y'all. Thank you for spending your hour with me on Sunday evening. And I'm going to catch you later this week. Stay tuned to my community tab and the announcements that we're going to have for Michelle, y'all, and go give her some love, okay? Because I love y'all and y'all good people. Keep up the good work, and we'll catch you next time.